So I've thought a million times about making the video and documenting all of this because it's a journey, but I've been just having a very hard time mentally over all of this. But my Crohn's disease took a turn for the worse, and I ended up with an abscess outside of my intestines, and there was a huge infection. So I've been in the hospital since Thursday night. It's now Monday night, and I'm hopefully going home tomorrow. So what happens next is, so I've been in the hospital with a drain in my stomach. It's really gross and I hate it, and it's been very hard for me to come to terms with all of this. But so the infection is slowly, draining out of my body. I've been on IV antibiotics and just pain meds, muscle relaxers, stuff like that. And so I'll go home with the drain and continue the medications and the antibiotics and just flush the drain. And slowly but surely, once the abscess clears up and all the inflammation goes away, they will go in and do surgery. So luckily, mine is not a worst case scenario. So I'm very grateful that we caught it when we did. I was feeling sick for about a week. I wasn't sure what was going on. Finally, was just in too much pain and went to the hospital. If we do surgery too soon, the surgeon will not be able to do it laparoscopically with just like a couple quick incisions, and it'll be a larger incision and a longer recovery. So then they'll take that part out, connect me back together, and then I'll just be on medication to manage my Crohn's, which will actually suppress my Crohn's, and I'll be able to live a normal life. This is just what God had planned for me. So I just keep praying to Him for the strength to get through this, and I know He's got me, and I'm so grateful that I have so much love and support around me, and I'm grateful for the little baby steps every single day.
Sounds dry.
Ta-da! Got whatever you want. All kinds of coloring things. You can pull one of these out. Got one of these things. Therapy today.
Sounds dry. Sounds dry. Sounds dry. Sounds dry. Sounds dry.
so we can go home.
Exactly, right?
You want to say to your fans?
I peed on my own.
That's it.
Sure.
Want to say something to your brothers? I'm sending it to Daddy and your brothers.
I peed on my own.
I don't want to.
Say what?
I
That's
peed
what
on
like-
my own.
You peed on your own?
No, well that's what it would be.
What else
without
you wanna
insurance,
say?
I'm
So-
high.
but I have insurance in my
Look at you go, girl. You're doing
So
great.
she's on yours.
Well, no. So
Yeah.
we're on Medicare.
Okay.
We just got married last year, and
Go, girlfriend.
hairdressers have insurance through
Love you.
their job. So we're going on that, and then hopefully after this year.
First meal in 4 days.
First meal in 4 days. Let's go. Pancakes and eggies. Feel good?
Today's day 5.
Nothing.
Nothing
Lift up your
attached.
shirt.
Nothing attached to my body anymore.
No more hoses and
No more drains and
Tubes.
wound vacs and tubes.
got an awesome report from the doctor.
I'm a free woman.
Soundstripe. Soundstripe.
So I am 1 week post-op today, and I feel like I've been climbing Mount Everest this week. I got really messed up mentally more than physically, just from all the pain meds and anesthesia and sedation and all the craziness that they do in the hospital. And it was way harder than I was expecting. Definitely getting easier every day. This belly band is like a godsend. Definitely I'll reuse it when I actually have a baby. That was kind of traumatizing going into the maternity section, like not for maternity or postpartum reasons. Looking back and even making this video, I cannot believe how much I actually went through. It actually still feels very weird not to have a tube attached to my body. It was actually almost unnerving thinking about it not being there anymore because I was so used to it. I was so used to dealing with it every day, hiding it in my clothes, you know, or not hiding it. Sometimes I wouldn't care. I was so used to just being uncomfortable. Definitely, like, because the surgery was laparoscopic, it's a way easier recovery, but I'm still out of work for like a month or 6 weeks or so, and can't really exercise or do anything, you know, strenuous, because I did get pieces of my intestines taken out. Today was my last Lovenox injection, which is a blood thinning injection. So like after you have surgery, you're at risk for blood clots. So today was my last one of those. So that's a really good feeling, because getting shot every day, like who wants to do that? I hate needles. It's just wild. The whole experience has been very wild, very insane. Something I never thought that I would go through or have to deal with. But yeah, I just wanted to make this video because, well, first of all, I like doing the whole blogging thing and sharing pieces of myself online. But I feel like Crohn's disease is very not talked about, not really like, there's, you always hear about, oh yeah, I heard someone has Crohn's disease, it's really bad, blah, 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 but like, no one really knows the ins and outs of it. No one really knows what it does to your body or what you do for treatments or anything like that. And not to say it's as bad as, you know, cancer or whatever. It's kind of why I never really spoke up a ton about it in the past, because I'm not trying to make my disease or my illness seem more important than any others, because there are tons of crazy illnesses out there. But I think it's important just to spread the awareness and like see how debilitating this can be. I mean, you know, I've been in and out of work 3 months, not really been social or done anything, and you know, it's like I've almost become a hermit. I have not really done very much like a normal 20, 25, 26-year-old would do. I also did lose a lot of weight through all of this, so not only did I have a tube in my stomach that I was self-conscious about, I was self-conscious about the fact that I lost a bunch of weight. You know, obviously wasn't a good reason to lose weight, so my surgeon had told me from the start that the mental portion of all of this was going to be harder, 10 times harder than it would be physically. And he was so right, because this whole time it's been a mental battle for sure. If you are someone who suffers from Crohn's disease, I am so here for you. If you are someone who wants to learn more about it or thinks you have it, feel free to message me and ask me questions. The best advice I can give is to make sure you have a good gastroenterologist, because my experience, I didn't really have a decent gastroenterologist that guided me and educated me properly. So that was also really tough, because I thought I knew what my illness was, and I was very wrong. I did not know that I could get an abscess. I had no idea that you can have pieces of your intestines removed because of Crohn's disease. I had no idea that that's why people have colostomy bags and ostomy bags. Like, I really, as educated as I thought I was not. So highly recommend, and this goes for everyone too, but I highly recommend everyone has a really, you know, good gastroenterologist doctor that they trust and that they feel educates them and guides them, because I didn't have that until now. The thing has just been a very big learning curve, but also putting my trust in doctors who, you know, I never really had trust in before, I guess. So I will be going on biologic medication in the next few weeks, in the next like 3 to 4 weeks, which starts off as an infusion, and then every 8 weeks I'll have to give myself an injection. That just suppresses a very small portion of my immune system, the part of my immune system that attacks itself. So it's going to suppress that, so I essentially go into a remission, and then hopefully I can have babies, because that's really the end goal here. Both my surgeon and my GI have told me so many times that, you know, once I'm on the medication, I'm going to feel the best I felt since I was like 15, basically. It's crazy. You think you're healthy and then something like this happens. I'm also the biggest advocate for just living a healthy lifestyle and taking care of yourself. It's only just fueled me more to want to really, you know, continue to take care of myself. And every doctor and every nurse and everyone that I've talked to has said, you're young, you're healthy, like, you're gonna have no problems with this surgery, you're gonna have no problems with the meds and this and that. But for people who are not 25 or who are not as healthy as I am, you know, I think it's definitely something to consider as a form of prevention. Not to say you're never going to get sick or you're never going to have an illness. We all have something. I feel that the reason this took 6 years to happen as opposed to 3 months from my original diagnosis is because of the way I took care of myself and because of the way I live. And not to say that, not in any way, shape, or form saying the way I live is better, whatever, but I do think it attributed to this not being such a worst case scenario for me. But even though my body was still attacking itself, I do believe that the things that I did to proactively take care of myself ultimately helped prevent this from happening earlier on, or prevent it from being worse than it really was. I mean, yeah, I had a tube in my stomach, you know, I had laparoscopic surgery. I could have had my entire abdomen cut open. I could have had feet of my intestines removed. I could have had a colostomy bag or a permanent ostomy bag. So I'm very lucky that you know, I get to rock a bikini this summer, or, you know, like I get to just resume normal life once I'm feeling better. And not a lot of people can say that. So I'm going off on a tangent. I don't know where I'm going with this, but I am 1 week post-op today. I'm feeling good, and I'm looking very forward to the rest of this journey, and maybe getting involved with the Crohn's Colitis Foundation, or just speaking out more on this illness to just give some awareness and help people not feel so alone. So if you watched this, thank you very much. It was very hard for me to make and post, and hopefully it does some good.